and welcome to a new series that I'm testing out called Basic B History. If you liked history, but you found it to be very boring, don't worry. History is not supposed to be boring because if you learn from it, you probably won't repeat it again. Like, have you been cheated on several times and by the fifth time you're like, hey, things are making sense now? You fucked around and I'm finding out every fucking time. That's what history lessons are like. When you see it on a world politics kind of thing, you're like, oh my god, the world's doing that again. It's just pattern recognition. So if you're interested in that, we're starting first with Mark Antony and Cleopatra because I'm interested in it. They're like a reality TV fucking show, but written in history. It's been balls to the walls. I'm literally reading books being like, oh my god. And I wanted to share that with you. So if you like this series, let me know in the comments or like the video. If it does well, I'll do more. If it doesn't, then I'll just sadly just sit in my corner and cry. Disclaimer, and this series is gonna be like your family gathering where your aunt told a story where most of what happened. Did she embellish? Of course she fucking did. No one likes a dry, boring story. If you want a dry, boring story, find a historian. But if you want a story that's memorable, that it will help you learn history a little bit better, stick around. And again, if you're always more interested in this stuff, cross-verify and check with other sources because no one should ever be trusted as the single source, including me. Okay, but before we can talk about Mark Antony and Cleopatra and their messy fucking tea, which, if I'm related to these people or not, this shit's entertaining as fuck. Like, I would roll with these people. You know, if you're interested in that, I have a reincarnation series that talks about it and a podcast that goes into it because I'm overwhelmed with all the information I'm receiving, which is why I'm researching this stuff. And if you don't believe any of that shit, whatever, just enjoy the history. We need to talk first about Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, because in order to understand Marky Mark and Cleo, you have to understand the Julius of it all. You know, it's not just like Orange Julius, which is, oh, very nice and refreshing at first, and then, like, yeah, you gotta forget about it. It's something that has literally impacted not just this lifetime, if you believe in reincarnation, but all of our fucking lifetimes. But if not, whatever. So we're going to talk about Caesar first and how he met Cleopatra, their relationship, and why it matters. And then we'll get into the greatest, I don't even think it's the love triangle because Caesar was fucking dead by the time Mark Antony was like, I love her. I love her. So the greatest, messiest web of reality TV before reality TV existed, because the Romans were meticulous about writing history like it was a reality show. The reason why we have so many notes about Roman history is because the thinkers at that time were onto something. They're like, they need the tea with the history because then they can draw a better picture of these people. Roman people, you were not wrong. That was 100% on the money. Obviously, I think the person who said history should be boring as fuck had other motives, which is they probably didn't want people to learn so much from history like we are now. So that's why these stories are interesting. But these people were petty as fuck. Like, they'd be starting wars. They just really, you could just tell these people needed therapy, and they're like, I don't have therapy, I have a knife and a republic to save. So the republic was how they dealt with a lot of their inner demons, and obviously, as you can tell, it didn't work out because here the fuck I am in this lifetime. Do I seem healed? I'm healed more, but not much. So, you know, either the next video will have the Caesar and Cleopatra storyline because I feel like I've talked way too much about what I'm going to talk about, or it will be just right now. Cleopatra deserves her own whole fucking video. Cleopatra was incredibly fucking smart about the way that she ruled and the way that she came into rulership. She should have not been a ruler. Unlike King Louis, who grudgingly should have never been a ruler, but everybody else fucking died, so he was like, oh man, fuck, I guess. Which is total Mark Antony energy. Cleopatra was like, I was not destined for this, but I will make it my destiny. That's some type A personality. And she did. So, in order to secure her place, Caesar was chasing a general who was his friend. There's a lot of people who are like, they were my friends, but now they're not in Rome. This is Pompey. Pompey is one of them. Pompey was like, Caesar married his sister. They're like, we are blood brothers now. Until you fuck me over, then I will fuck you up. Pompey fucked up. And Caesar was like, hey, I'm gonna try to dictate this fucking, like, republic here. That doesn't fly, brother-in-law. I'm gonna kill you. So he chased them all through. They lost a huge battle. Pompey was like, fuck, I think this Egyptian owes me some money. I'm going to ask for help. I'm so scared. And he owes me money. So then he went to Egypt and he was like, hey, Emperor, Pharaoh, Tommy. I forgot if you can't say the P or not. Plot. It's like Ptolmey. Tommy, dinero. Can you help me? Caesar's on my ass and I really am not doing so well in this war. And they're like, this is the Pharaoh. He is Cleopatra's brother at the time, and he's like, my sister's trying to fucking kill me for this job. I don't even like it, but I'm not gonna let her be like the fucking Pharaoh. I am the pharaoh. He's like, I bet Caesar would like me way more since like this guy's already a loser. I don't want to side with the loser. The loser's gonna keep losing. He was like, but if the winner comes here, winner winner chicken dinner, and sees that I delivered him some chicken, maybe he will help me overthrow my sister from ever overthrowing me. So he was like, guards, kill him. So they kill him. They kill Pompey. Pompey was like, whoa, 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 you made my, and dead. The pharaoh's like, whew, almost got sided with that loser. So Caesar comes and he goes, where is he? Where is Pompey? I want his head. And the guy says, I was hoping you would say that. Bring him the head. This didn't happen. He didn't have a head, but he was like, I killed him for you. Caesar was like, he was my brother-in-law. And again, the weird dynamics of being like, if anybody was going to kill him, I wanted to kill him. I'm going to kill you. Well, he didn't kill him that way, but he did eventually help overthrow him and actually install Cleopatra. Because maybe he was thinking about it. He's like, I'm really pissed off about this. If anybody was going to kill Pompey, it should have been me. I need a day. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but somehow he gets away. He goes back to his quarters, and Cleopatra's like, I need to get in that man's fucking purview. I am hot as shit right now. I am in my mid-20s. This is the hottest I'll ever be. That man is the most powerful he's ever gonna be. History needs to happen now. She's like, put me in this rug. Shit you not, this part actually did happen. She wraps herself in a rug like it's an Archer cartoon. Which is an Archer joke, by the way. And then they're like, deliver him this rug. Say he needs it. He needs this rug because it gets very cold here in Egypt at night. So I don't know how they got the rug in. But she needed to come into his room without her brother fucking knowing. Because her brother's gonna fuck it up. They're both trying to like secretly fuck each other up. They're like, I need to kill you secretly. So she gets there and she's like, they're like, here's a rug for you, Caesar. And she's like, I don't know where no fucking rug. They're just take the rug. And he's like, I'm not tipping. I don't know why, but he seems like a man like, I didn't ask for this. I'm not gonna pay for it. So then they bring in the rug, and I guess then she's like, were you expecting me? It's like the inverse of like when a woman takes off her robe, but she pops out of the fucking rug. Obviously, she probably ended up being naked at some point because like they had a child together, and he was like, I figured it out. Cleopatra should be the ruler. I'm gonna overthrow you. And then he's like, put my baby mama up there, but I'm never gonna acknowledge this baby. It's not mine, even though it looks just like me, and we named it Caesarion, which means Little Caesar. Not mine. Not mine. So that happened. They have a very complicated history. It's very interesting. Obviously, Cleopatra's like, thank God my fucking hot looks did it. Another one for the team. She's like, feminism? To be fair, at the time, Cleopatra was using what she had the mostest, and maid or chambermaid or whatever, the one that like is always with you helping you clean and shit, like the ones that they were really like, where's my helper? You know, they have it in like Game of Thrones and you know, the Dragon show, House of Dragon. Even that girl was real proud of her. I actually agreed with her quote. I think Shakespeare wrote it, where she's like, she rose from never should have been like what's the word? Ruling to one of the biggest rulers of all. Then that one died too. It was really dramatic, their ending. We'll get to their death in another story. Cleopatra was remarkable for her time in history. You know, what a mind. Because she realized that, okay, so to give you a little backstory about Cleopatra, she is from Alexander the Great's time, which is he's from Greece, the Macedonians, and they're not actually Egyptians. And they had no Egyptian blood at all when Cleopatra was ruling. And that's really hard when you're ruling a group of people that you are actually not directly tied to at all. Like, you have no ethnic connection to them. So Cleopatra was like, what if I appropriated it? Hear me out, hear me out. They don't have education systems. They don't know. What if I just start learning Egyptian? Really dressing up Egyptian. Acting Egyptian. And because they're not educated, telling them, I am Isis reborn, a deity. I think they'll eat that shit up. I think this is actually how people can stay in power for a while. And the Romans were like, that shit worked. Maybe we shouldn't have them be voting. Maybe we should just declare ourselves dictators and gods. Because that shit works. And obviously there's a huge trend in history. But she was like, I am Isis. And she learned Egyptian, which no one in her family line of rulers for 300 years had ever done, I think. She started dressing. She started partaking. She was like, I'm just like you. Like Kendrick's song, Not Like Us. But she's like, I'm just like you. Just like us. Just like us. Let me tell you, it was probably the first time in history that happened. And those people were bamboozled. I mean, now it's not going to really be helpful if they try to do that shit. Because we're like, play the Kendrick song. Not like us. And like, yeah, we've gotten really attuned to it. Because we're like, enough with your bullshit. Because again, history is just see patterns, and people are like, I've seen this 100 times, I don't want no more. But the Egyptian people at that time were like, no one's ever, is she Isis reborn? And they really believed that shit, and it actually did help her solidify her power a little bit, and also move more claim. Because remember, gender politics, and Cleopatra's like, Isis, my brother's nothing, just a piece of shit, but I am Isis. And they were like, this is Isis, install her. So yeah, Caesar installs Cleopatra, and the Egyptian people are like, we liked her better anyways. Her brother was kind of ugly. And that's it for this segment. Next episode, we'll go into what Cleopatra did with her baby mama. She basically took Caesar to the Maury Povich show of the time, which, I mean, that didn't exist, but she was like, Maury, read the results. And he was like, and the results are in, and you are the father, Caesar. Caesar's like, I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. And we'll talk about that next episode. So if you enjoyed, like, follow, and subscribe for more of Drunk History meets Basic Bitch Knowledge.